Hello and welcome back. This is episode 21 of Hearthside, and today we're going to be making a steam engine and pulling lava from the Nether. Specifically, we're stealing it. That's what we're doing. That's what I'm calling it. We're going to steal lava from the Nether. We're going to make an infinite source, and we're going to make it to where we can have infinite energy, or as much energy as I could possibly use, in any sort of frame of time, using steam engines, lava, time, and blaze cakes. So let's get started on that.
And here we are at our new train station, and I'm going to have to get my water skin refilled. I don't think I have one over here, actually, so we're gonna have to go into our train station and get some amenities real quick. Let's put you in here and grab you out of there. There we are. Now, that away. That's the way I need to go. Land is slowly showing up for me over here. I'm probably still going to have that ferry, but I think I'm just going to move right on over there and get these out of my hand. And we'll talk about making our power station. I'm so excited. We have not been able to play with the steam engines at all. There wasn't a need in Urnshire. I just kept using water wheels. But now in this Mediterranean forest area, we're gonna need a power station. And oh my goodness, this is just a beautiful, beautiful environment. You see, I didn't think, well, we're still in the savannah right there, I did not ever think about building in a Mediterranean forest, but look along these little coast points. This has calcite, and I don't know what it is about that, but that's lovely. That is very pretty to me. White sand beaches is what it reminds me of, and I like it. So, let's see where our central area is going to end up being. I'm pretty close to it, and it looks like our central area is actually more in a savanna area, which is good and a little bit bad. I could also put our steam power station like right in the middle of this water, but I don't think we're going to do that. Let's see about putting it right here, central in that island that I thought about claiming for my own. Also, I checked down here. There is more Mediterranean until it gets into old growth woodland. And then we have just a straight woodland a little bit further south. So, let's definitely go to this area here. Right across the way. I'm thinking the heart of our city should be the heart of this island, and we might build some rather large docks or something off in this area. I'm not quite sure, but I'm pretty close to central. And let's talk about the steam engines. The steam engines are really interesting and very big, or they can be. They don't always have to be. So, what you do first is use fluid tanks, and you place the steam engine upon it. Once you use a shaft upon that steam engine, you will create a kinetic output, which is wonderful. You'll pull water into that. You need heat, water, and boiler space. They'll generate rotational force, and the bigger that engine, the more lava you have, it's better. You can also use the blaze burners, and it'll fuel it a little faster. Higher power levels require more water, size, and heat. And you can also look at the boilers with goggles and see where all of that can go. Additional engines can output at full capacity with added power levels, so that's great. You can have a level 4 boiler and have 4 engines off of that. You can also superheat those. So like, seriously, we're gonna have as many engines as I think I can put on this thing, because we're going to be using something interesting. I really want to create optical in this area, because I do want it to look more industrial. So let's talk about create optical. Optical sources transform rotational forces into light. They can receive it with a receiver. Tinted glass, non-transparent blocks, and entities can block the light. So we can propagate different types of light, and we'll have basically almost power lines. Radio waves, microwaves, visible light, and gamma rays. Visible light will be a lot of fun to play with, I think. Entities can be hurt with higher frequency light, so we'll be putting those a little bit higher or away from things. You can also propagate the movement through mirrors and switch it back and forth if you want. Before we get completely lost in thought on that, let's get our steam engine set up. I do want to use blaze cakes to fuel these, so we'll probably need a train or something going to the Nether and bringing back lava into this space so that we can make blaze cakes and make a beautiful little factory, a factory of blaze cakes in our power station. So we're gonna be here and let's just get started. We're gonna start off with 12 fluid tanks. Probably gonna need a lot more than that. I've already got 2 blaze burners filled, but that's definitely not gonna be enough. I'm gonna grab 5 more just to have them. And you see, blaze cakes. If I used the creative blaze cake, it would never run out of fuel, but that's not going to be the case for us. We're going to use blaze burners that will get them all fired up. We're gonna be using blaze cakes, regular blaze cakes, and it will get them all fired up. We'll need something to make our blaze cake base, which means we need sugar, cinder flour, applesauce. Interesting. Which is good, we don't need milk. But that is made by crushing netherrack. And yeah, is there a way to make netherrack actually? I'd have to be growing nether essence. Very well, we'll have to work on that a little bit later. Let's just work on getting our steam engine up. I'll grab a few of these, 4 will do at the moment. And we'll grab some obsidian. I'll need more obsidian. I crushed a lot of it. And we're gonna pop a basic nether portal down probably over here somewhere. Honestly, I may have to head home and go to my other nether portal because, to be completely honest, it has a fortress right off of it and I'd rather not have to, go find another one. Alright, blazes acquired, as well as a few books. And the train should be back from New City in 3 minutes. So now that we have our blaze burners and our fluid tanks and all the things we're gonna need to get this started, let's lay down a little platform actually. And we'll start on our first steam engine like right close to the middle. I do want it to be a little off center just because I want a very specific look. Right, so here is the very beginning of that. We're going to need to get some pumps on it, and we'll have to kind of kickstart this thing once we get it kind of set up, okay? We'll put our steam engines up top. We can also fuel these blaze burners with just regular wood if we wanted to. But first, water. We're going to need to have access to water, and you can see that it has a decent size, it has no water, and it has a little bit of heat. The blaze burners will give a little bit of passive heat. So, let's grab some logs, let's get some pumps, and we're gonna pump some of this water right into this boiler, and you can see that the water is happening. It's going in. And if you want to be certain that there's water going through these pipes, you can click this portion, just right click it with a wrench and it will clear it. And then I can see that water is moving through that. There we are. Now we need to provide some heat. Give these guys some logs. And it's got plenty of heat, but barely any water. And these need to have shafts added to them. There we go. There's some shafts. Reheat these. And then fill her up. And can you hear that? There we are. Now once I stop, it will stop. So we're going to need to make it all self-sufficient. The water pump, everything. But I just wanted to demonstrate that that's kind of how that works. So, first things first, making the water self-sufficient, or at least making this all run on of itself, and just need a kickstart is what we're going to be aiming for. But we're going to be building the largest one that we can. Take a look at this. I just added one shaft to this and had it start powering the pump, and it is already very, very slowly adding power and pulling from that water source. And here we have a self-propelling level 3 boiler and steam engine. If I add another engine, it slows the entire thing down. Partially because it's not fueled, they eat through logs pretty quickly. But there it is, a level 3, which means I could add one more shaft to one of these engines and it would run at this full capacity. Until, of course, these guys run out of fuel, and then it will go back to a passive. It still has water and it still has heat. I just wanted to show you that you could self-perpetuate pretty quickly if you wanted to. Just add a shaft with some cogs and start it up with a hand crank, and you'll have something going. I don't think it would be able to power much, but it would still be self-perpetuated energy. Now, let's make this bigger and better. Now, sometimes in order to kickstart it, you're going to need a little bit of power behind it. A hand crank won't do, so I've added a little bit over there. Now we have a level 4, and of course we'll need more heat. You know, I've had to come back here once or twice just to get some sheets and things, so I think I may end up needing to make a new workshop in our other area. So we're back in Urnshire and we're making some blackstone train tracks because I want something deep and dark for going back and forth into the Nether. Because that's what we're going to do. Down at the other end, we're going to be sending a train through the Nether to get us a ton of lava because the blaze cakes require lava to be squirted into these blaze cake bases. So since we have to go to another dimension, we are going to get that portion set up first. Then we will make it to where we have our sugarcane farm and our cinderflower farm, which cinderflower is made by crushing netherrack, and netherrack can be grown from nether essence, and you can make a bunch of that way, and then we'll crush it all. We also have a lot of netherrack to start off with, so we'll be able to start stocking up and getting those blaze cakes fed. This is going to be a wild piece, a wild centerpiece, and I'm so excited to see how it turns out. I was thinking about doing some wide tracks, but I honestly don't think I need the actual circle for it to be that big, so I think we're gonna not do that. Oh, my train just came back too. You weren't my original conductor. Viridium. Mixed in with a path. Ooh. You know, that is an interesting concept. I quite like that. Anyway, the villagers being bad at building villages in any way that makes sense is not my problem right now. Oh, by the way, I took off the mini-map for a cleaner screen. If you guys would prefer to see it up there, I will absolutely put it back, because I have also gotten lost a bunch more. Ah, there's another portal. Now, that's not the one we're going to use, because I think I want to switch things up, but we're going to lay our tracks around this area, and we're going to see if we can do this wild idea I thought of. So there we are. Trees cleared, grass cleared, a little bit of space around this. So let's get some things going on some cardinal directions, why don't we? I think we're going to put this here, and we're just going to see how this turns out, okay? I'm going to put it central right there. And we're going to maximize that turn, and this should give us a circle. Using the wand of symmetry makes this a lot easier. Oh no, and I don't have enough tracks. That's fine, we can head back. I will grab some more tracks and be right back. That does look like it's pretty circular. Oh yeah, this is going to be a beautiful heart of the city and rather large. Not quite huge, but large enough I think that it'll attract attention. And look, I did a little bit of terraforming around this. We'll be able to make it look a little bit more nice. There's a lot of podzol in this area, and I'm not sure that I like it. I'm not sure that I really dislike it either, though. So we're kind of going to make a decision, a judgment call when we get to that point. I like the idea that it is a color variation, but it is not a very beautiful color variation. I think I'd like to bring up more stone, rock, a little bit of mud into the mix. Maybe some mud bricks. In the summer, the savanna's very green. That's nice. I'm not usually a fan of savannas because they generally feel a little bit more like tan beige. Oh, by the way, I built an observation car back here. And you know what? It gives a nice clear view of everything. Let's take a little bit of a ride.
and I'll give you a little bit of time with some quiet, some music on the way back. This was supposed to be a relaxing train ride, but I'm pretty sure my fox just died. Time to go get another one. Or this cow. This cow will do. You know, I might put a horse in here and just put it with armor on. You're so cute. You're a woolly cow. Look at you. You know, I need a temp pad so that I can get back and forth easily. Let's see. I don't have a nether star or glass. I need one more wither skeleton skull, and I think I'm gonna end up making a temp pad. I've got 10 minutes before the train's back, so I will get on that. I love taking the train, but it takes a little bit of time to wait for it to get back. Right, so I got another star. I'm gonna make a beacon, and I am going to make a temp pad. Beacon, redstone lamp, temp pad. First, I'm going to use my brand new temp pad and make a mark. So we're going to add this location. We're going to say new city. And now when we head back to Urnshire, we will be able to teleport back and forth using this temp pad. It says it's fully charged. I'm not sure if it will run out of charge. And if it does, I'm not sure how to charge it. But we'll figure that out together later. Let's get these rails laid down. I got plenty of extras just in case. And another thing, I'm gonna set down a little bit of blackstone right next to these cardinal directions, right here. And there we are. The reason for the blackstone is because I am going to set up a nether portal. And I just wanted to make sure I knew where it was marked. Oh, dang it. That's fine. Since we have it marked, we can fix it. There we go. Now, where do we want the nether portal to be? I kind of like the idea of it going kind of behind this piece and then just not appearing out the other side for a little bit. What do we think? I think that'll be cool. All right, so we're going to put the nether portal back here. Let's get rid of that wand. Like a magic trick almost. That is 4. It'd be a 2x2 on the other side. I never liked 2x2s. Let's get this nether portal. I kind of want it to be a little bit bigger, I think. Yeah, that'll give a 4 wide space, actually less than that, around the actual structure. And that's fine. Again, we can make this a really interesting piece. So we're gonna go up. There's 6 in there, I believe. There we are. Let's get ourselves a flint and steel and light her up. We'll fix this shortly. Let's go through it. We may need a place to connect on the other side. Oh goodness, I'm surrounded by magma blocks. I'm gonna need to head back through, grab our soul spring lamp. All right, let's try this again. There we go. Now we'll be able to do the same thing we did and set up our wand of symmetry, and we'll have to clear a rather large space. Okay, now is this centered? This is going to break our tracks, and that's fine. We'll be able to replace them, but I'm going to clear a large space in here because holy moly, we need to use the wand of symmetry and clear a lot of netherrack. So I've cleared a space, made an oval. I was gonna make a circle, but it fought me the entire way. And besides, the oval might be more useful because we're going to be pulling lava from here. And so we'll need a place for the train to be able to stop. Now, as you can see, I've got some lava problems already. That's perfectly fine though. What we're going to do is we're going to head back, make a drilling train, just a large bunch of drills on the front, just covering this whole area and some just a little bit further back, like probably a double drill portion, just to get the corners and such nice. We're gonna take a potion of fire resistance, or something with fire resistance, come back and deal with all of this. Fire pit. Ooh. Okay, we can look at that later. We can look at that later. We'll figure it out. But for now, I'm standing close to the nether portal, and I'll be right back with those potions of fire resistance. We'll build a big old drill train and send it through. Let's add a waypoint for Urnshire and make ourselves some fire resist potions. There. We've got a few fire resistant potions. Now, let's head back. And there we are. Now it'll take 3 minutes to recharge. Okay, so it's not something that I have to actually charge on anything, which is good. All right, so let's build ourselves a drill train real quick. Let's go like right there. That'll do. We're gonna need some train casing, which means we need some brass casing and some sturdy sheets. Do we have any powdered obsidian? Yes. We'll run back and use those. Here we go, more train casing, and back to New City. I love that. I love that. That's so useful. Now let's get a train station, and let's create a new train. We're just gonna go really simple with this train. Oh gosh dang it, I need more precision mechanisms. We're gonna be back and forth all day today, guys. That's fine, I'll go get those in a second. Honestly, I don't think I really need 2 bogies right now. Perfect. We're gonna need some drills. 36 is probably not gonna be enough, but we will see. All right, let's go back and make some precision mechanisms. We know we need gold sheets for that. Oh no, I guess I'm only gonna be able to get 2, which is fine. That's all I need right now. So we're gonna need 10 of these, 10 of these. And what's the last thing for precision mechanisms, guys? I've forgotten. Ah, iron ingot. No, not iron ingots, iron nuggets. All right, got 2 of those, perfect. Now back to New City. All right, everything's glued together. Let's assemble the train. And then we're gonna take this train. We'll take a potion of fire resistance. Oh, am I not getting through? Aw, I see. I put the drills too high. I'm gonna need to go back. Whoops. Well, looky there, kids. Move it. Okay, can't relocate it that far away. We'll put it here. And then we'll grab it and put it here. Okay, and we'll actually relocate it to here. There we go. And we'll disassemble it and hop on top, and we'll get rid of 1 set of drills. And we'll see if that fits through. All right, I think we should be good now. Now let's grab our tracks and fix that up. Actually, that's not what we're gonna do. Remember, light up your nether portal first, then lay your tracks to the edge of it on either side. If you're gonna be doing it this way. I mean, you can just lay the tracks on it on one side. It'll connect, see? There we go. Now let's hop on and see if we have any problems going through this time. Nope, again, but from the other side, after I cool down a little bit. All right, let's try running it like this through and see if we can get like this with an arrow in the front and see if we can clean up those corners a little bit. All right, let's take a look at how that all looks. Of course, back there is awful. But yes, that's starting to look a little bit better. We will clear this space quite a bit more with a wand of symmetry in some time. Looks like I have a little lava lake there that I can fill up. There we go. We've cleaned up quite a bit of that lava. Actually, we've cleaned up all of that dripping lava, which is good. So we're gonna bring the drill train right back through, and then we're gonna make some cool stuff in the nether. In all likelihood, I'll have a piglin or a... Give me a second, I'm burning alive. I'll be okay, but it'll take a second. Right, so we've cleared an area in here, and we will be putting a tank and filling it up with lava so that we can send a lava train through and get a whole bunch of lava to take it back so that it can be stored in the other place. So we have our lava train, and it will be able to put lava into here at all of the end. Once I power all of this, probably with the steam engine, we'll have to see. But at that moment, or at this time, we won't be using, oh geez, we won't be using this whole setup quite yet. I do want to make it more nice looking and more cohesive before we get the factory for our blaze cake started. It'll probably come along this side, you know, along the left side of this big ol' tank, once I figure out exactly how I want it to look and how I want things to go. But there is an important thing that I promised a viewer, and I'm going to get started on that, and we're gonna cut this place and make it look much nicer. Get that powered, and then we'll see how everyone feels. Alright? Alright. You know what's a good problem to have? Not having enough room on your subscriber wall. I'm going to need to make it even taller. It's a good thing I have more of these. And here we are. Take a look. Everybody's on here, and at the very top, so-called Rocky, I have you. All right. I was requested to make this by So-Called Rocky a while ago, and I may end up moving it to make it fit a little bit more with all of the mess that I've got over here. I just wanted to show my appreciation for you all. Thank you so much for subscribing to me. These are all of the subscribers that have their subscription public, by the way. So I don't really have everybody that's here, otherwise this thing would be twice as tall, but I did make sure to get everyone who has their things, public. So, thank you so much. I appreciate every single one of you and everyone who's watched so far. Please, please, if you like what you're seeing, like and subscribe as usual. Make a comment. I would love to hear from you. It's been so much fun to make this episode what it is, and I cannot wait to make our city center a little bit more interesting and less, messy. It's pretty messy right now. But I promise we're gonna make some factories. We're gonna make some cakes, we're gonna make some blaze cakes, and it's gonna be wonderful. Thank you for joining me this time. See you next time.